Morning guys, it's Ian here. Welcome to my channel and to my day. And I'm just out and about again, and as usual when I'm in the car, the urge to chat to you sort of comes upon me. And so today I want to be talking about kind of the concept of no man is an island, or no human is an island, and whether that's true or not, and to what degree it's true, and how we know to what degree it's true for each of us. And kind of spinning off that, I suppose, is knowing ourselves, and how do we know ourselves, and how do we know what's right for us, and what brings us, I'm not going to say happiness, but I guess contentment in our life. And I suppose what this stems from is, I've been thinking about my life lately and how different it is to the life I led 5 years ago. Now, 5 years ago, when I was working, I worked as a civil servant in one of the biggest UK civil service departments, and my life was hectic. Now, I know people think civil servants sit and drink tea, but I can tell you that is not so. That is so much not so. Life was full of travel, of meetings, of dealing with impossible situations and circumstances. And toward the end of my working career, I really felt that it was damaging, I suppose, to my sense of well-being. And so when an opportunity came for me to take early retirement, I took it. I didn't really think whether it was the right thing to do, because I was very young to be taking early retirement, just over 50, and but I just knew it was something that would be right for me and something that I needed to do, and I did it. And so then, practically overnight, my life changed from being one where I really didn't have a minute to myself during the day, and often that would spill over into the evenings as well, because that's when the travel was done. The getting to and from the meetings that would be all over the country was done in the evenings. So, you know, it would be your own time then that was going. So I had very little time that I could actually call my own to do with what I wanted. So life was full. It was full of activity, full of busyness. There wasn't a great deal of it left for me, and certainly not for the things that I wanted to do, that I found interesting, that I found fulfilling. And then after I took early retirement, my days opened up amazingly, because really all I had to do in my day were the things that I put in it to fill it. Apart from, you know, household stuff and the things that everyone has to do anyway. Excuse me. At the time I was in a relationship, so that took a great deal of my time as well, as relationships do. And you'll find, I guess, if you're anything like I was, that, you know, relationships mean that you compromise on many things in terms of what you do in your together time. So there was still, you know, quite a chunk of my time that was accountable, and I was accountable for, and I'm not complaining about that at all, because it was a great time. I loved my partner very much, and it didn't feel like a sacrifice. But then, as you'll know if you have watched any of my earlier videos, I became single about 5 months ago. So my time then became almost entirely my own, and I have filled it. There still doesn't seem to be time to do all the things that I want to do, and I filled my time with study and walking and going places, yeah, and meeting friends, but I'm rambling a little here, because the point I wanted to make was that the comparison I was making between my life now and my life, say, 5 years ago, was how much time I spent with people And 5 years ago, it was probably at least 90% of my time was spent in contact with other people or asleep. And now that is so different. Now, two days can go by where I really don't see anybody for any meaningful length of time. And it suddenly dawned on me that, was this a good or a bad thing? Hence, no human is an island. And then from there I thought, well, why are you questioning this? Is it because you don't feel happy with your life as it is now? Or is it because you look at other people's lives and you think that your life is so different to theirs? And I realised that it was that. It was that I was thinking how my life ought to be for me to be more like other people, rather than how it felt to me right now being as it was. And then that took me on another little jaunt into, how often we shape our lives to the expectations of society. And we do it automatically, very often without thinking about, am I being like this because it's how I want to be? Am I being like this because it brings me contentment and it brings me satisfaction? Or am I being like it because I think I ought to? And then I realised that often we don't really, I'm going to say it, we don't think about what we want for ourselves because we are so busy with the activity of life. It normally takes an effort of will or a significant change in life circumstance that causes us to stop and re-evaluate our priorities and see what is important to us. So my life now is one of there being ample time for me to do all of the things I want to, and I am doing them. I'm studying, I'm reading a lot. I've gone back to my book that I started about 3 years ago with new enthusiasm, and I intend to finish it, and I intend to get it published, even if it is through the Amazon self-publishing service. I do spend time with people, but not much. I have some social contacts with friends, but not much. And that's fine, because when I think back, the fact that I was constantly exposed to being with people was one of the things that caused my work life to be so stressful. Because ever since I was a child, really, I've been much of a loner, and I've enjoyed time, and more than that, I've needed time on my own. And there are so many people who, when I say that, they say, oh yeah, absolutely, I'm like that. I really need my me time, and if I can't get it, I just feel as if I'm all out of sorts. So it's not uncommon, but sometimes we don't talk about it, and therefore we think that we are different from most other people when really we're not. So how do we be true to ourselves? Well, for me the first stage was stopping and noticing how I'm feeling right now. Am I feeling content? Am I feeling discontent? Am I feeling lonely? Am I feeling stressed? Am I feeling that my life is right, that it's got a right feeling about it? Or am I feeling that my life isn't right? Does it feel not the right shape? Is there something missing from it? Am I carrying a sense of weight, of feeling low? And if I am, let's dig out what that's about. But no, I'm not. So what this is telling me is that although my life is very different to how it was 5 years ago, and although it's very different from most people I know, right here, right now, it's right for me. It's giving me what I want, it's giving me what I need. And I think when I start to notice a sense of discontent in my life, then I need to start looking at, well, why? Where is that coming from? What is the nature of my feeling a little bit, you know, as though my life doesn't fit my needs anymore? And so my parting shot, sorry about this, my parting shot today is going to be, it's okay to be different. And if you feel that you are something of an island and it feels okay to you, then that's fine. For as long as it's feeling okay, it is okay. When it starts to feel not okay, then you need to start looking at your life and how you might need to reshape it. But other than that, yeah, it's okay to be different. We're all unique. We're all meant to be unique. So we don't need to conform just for the sake of it. And on that point, I'm going to say bye for now, and I'll see you guys soon. Ciao.